everyone. Look who we've got here. She's just chilling. She was fast asleep a moment ago, but she's woken up now. I'm starting talking. I thought I'd show you, sweetie, before we got on with anything else, because I know she has her fans. So that's sweetie. Hair's a bit weird today, sorry about that. Mummy sent me a package today. I've got to show you. It's a shawl. It's very pastel colours, which is very me. I like colourful things, and particularly pastel colours. So wearing that to cover up my shoulders. So anyway, today's video is actually just going to be a condensed video of the live stream that I did last night. So last night I did a whole video and it was live and it went on for 2 hours, and I know not everyone's got that much time in their lives to waste watching me talking about perfumes. So here's a condensed video of that whole video. How many times can I say video? That's enough. That's enough with the videos. So, whole video, everything that has arrived since basically quarantine started. So, everything here I have purchased. So, everything is bought and paid for by me. There's nothing here that's been sent for review or anything like that. So, let's just dive in which way. One of the earlier things that came, I have already mentioned it on the channel. It's La Mia Perla. I got a set, so I got this and a matching body cream. I bought it because of a few ladies on YouTube that were talking about it, and I was really curious. And it's a very pretty fragrance. So it's La Mia Perla. La Perla is a lingerie company, quite a nice high-end lingerie company. And the fragrance is very soft, powdery. I think it's a benzoin scent. It's got a hint of oranginess about it. And it's really pretty and soft. And it's like one of those fragrances that you don't even smell like you're wearing a fragrance. You just smell like your skin smells wonderful. You use a beautiful shampoo. You wash your clothes in really nice laundry detergent. That kind of thing. That's this scent. The only thing is, I don't think the performance is all that. It just seemed really soft. I need to wear it a little bit more. I've only really worn it the once and it felt like it faded off pretty quick. So I need to give it another couple of tries, see how I get on with it. But at the moment, I'm a bit, I think the scent's really beautiful, but I think the performance is possibly lacking somewhat. So we'll come back to that, or quite possibly we'll review it at some point. We'll do these two together. These are from Ganache Parfums, and the 50ml bottles extract of parfum. One is called Fern Mayo, who I learned about in the live stream. Someone explained that she's a character. I think the film's called Jawbreaker, and she was a character, and I think she changed her name to Violet or something like that. So this is probably why the fragrance smells really, really violety, like it's a violet on steroids fragrance. And it reminded me of, I used to have a violet fragrance, Versace. She's called Versace Violet. It's from that higher end line, and the opening reminds me of that, but the dry down on this is a little bit sort of synthetic woodsy muskiness. It's not bad, but it's kind of it's just a violet bomb really. So for me it's more of a layering fragrance, but I like it though. If you like violet, then you might like Fern and Mayo. And the other one from Ganache is Leche y Galletas, so it's Spanish for milk and biscuits. And this is sorry, my face is still itching and I can't not itch it. I'm really sorry. Hopefully it's calming down. It's certainly looking a lot better. This eyelid's still weeping, like it feels wet, but you don't need to know that. Leche y Galletas or Galletas is an almond biscuit type scent. It smells like those Italian cookies, you know, the little round ones that are kind of like a bit chunky, and you get them with coffee in some coffee shops and they taste of almond. It's like that. It is a very literal almond cookie type smell, and I really like it. It makes me hungry, and it's not something I'm going to wear too often because I like my gourmands usually to have a perfume aspect to them. I like them to be perfumes with a gourmand touch. This is just pure food. It's 100% food, but if you're in the right mood for it, it's absolutely amazing. I think they've done a really good job. It's really lovely. It's Leche y Galletas, and it's Ganache Parfums. They're based over in the United States. I got those on sale. They had a little bit of a sale just before the whole COVID really kicked off. There was a bit of a sale. It took quite a while for it to get to me, I think probably because of that, but they got here and it's all good. So next up, in my quest for the perfect pair, I'm planning a big pear video, a big juicy pear video for you, and in my quest I blind bought this one here. It's Marc Jacobs Pear, sometimes just called Pear Splash, and this is a 100ml bottle. It's absolutely mahoosive, it's chunky, it's heavy, and the fragrance is very much a citrusy cologne style fragrance. It's not, I guess I thought there might be more sweetness. It's not that sweet. The pear is very fresh and green, and it combines lovely with a whole host of various citruses, maybe some petitgrain, and then it gets it turns a bit masculine. So it starts off completely unisex. It doesn't lean one way or the other. Then in the dry down, it goes a little bit bitter, and I'm not sure if there's vetiver in here, but it goes a little bit masculine, a little bit bitter, and almost not exactly smoky, but erring towards a smoky green type scent. So it's not quite what I expected. I think it would more likely suit people who are searching for a more masculine scent, but the opening's still really nice. The pear note is lovely. It's a really good, refreshing summer, zesty freshener type fragrance, like a straight after the shower kind of thing, to keep you feeling refreshed and clean. So next up, this one's quite new, very new. In fact, it's called Pleats Please. It's the Eau de Parfum by Issey Miyake. To me, this is very similar to Guerlain's Insolence, so the original Insolence, which is the violet one, and this is not the same exactly. This feels like it goes a little more soapy and more mellow and toned down, whereas the Insolence is very bright and almost aldehydic in the opening. It's very fizzy, like you've just sprayed some hairspray, and it's a bit sharp. This isn't like that, but it does have a very similar violet note, but it feels a little bit soapy. And I'm sure there's more going on. There's probably some red berries or something, but it needs more time. I haven't really given this one a proper wearing, but it's called Pleats Please. I think it's discontinued, and it's the Eau de Parfum. I expected it to be more gourmand. I read a lot of reviews. It was only cheap. I bought it off a fellow fragrance lover from one of the fragrance groups, and I paid £15 plus postage, so it was very cheap. 30 mils, sorry, but the reviews made it sound a bit sweeter and a bit more gourmand, and so in that respect I'm slightly disappointed. I thought it was going to be a little more on the gourmand side, and it's not really, not to my nose anyway. So another fragrance that I bought in my quest for the best pair is called Scandal à Paris from Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is a 100ml bottle. It's massive, it's weighty, and I kind of like this tacky legs, like legs in the air. Legs akimbo, as we say here in the UK. Legs akimbo. And yeah, I bought it because apparently the pear note is quite pronounced. You do definitely smell pear, and you also, I think, I haven't double checked the notes, I think you smell an orange blossom very similar to the orange blossom that you get in Jean Paul Gaultier's Classique. So it's that kind of rich orange blossom with a little bit of honey and orange blossom combined to make this rich, unctuous, ambery coloured liquid in your mind. It's really nice actually. It's a little bit fruity, it's a little bit light, but there is a denseness from the honey, and I think there's some probably heavier notes like tonka and vanilla. I haven't checked the notes, but it feels like that's the way it goes. I have worn it a couple of times. This is a strong like. Oh, honey and jasmine's in here. It's a tester bottle. It says honey and jasmine there. It's a strong like. I'm not in love, but I will definitely wear it. It will be an easy reach fragrance to just smell really good, slightly fresh yet sweet and rich. So another fragrance with pear actually is Valentino Aqua Donna. Valentino Donna Acqua even. And I bought this blind bought this because of YouTube reviews, quite a few very favourable reviews. I have already reviewed this one myself. It's on my channel. I did a walk in the woods with this one, and I'm slightly disappointed because it's not as full-on gourmand as I wanted it to be. This one starts off a bit gourmand. It smells a little bit like marzipan, but it also smells a bit like cherry blossom. It's very powdery, but the floweriness is much stronger than anything else. Once you get past the first 20 minutes or so, it's much more of a light spring floral than anything else, and it's quite light in performance as well. So it was a mild disappointment, but I still think it's a really pretty fragrance and I'm keeping it. So it's a Valentino Donna Acqua. I love the bottle. That's a 30ml bottle. Absolutely stunning, and I have used all of that, so it has been given a fair try. I do wear a lot of it at the same time as well to try and get that performance, but just doesn't seem to have much oomph, I'm afraid. Perfect daytime, meeting up with friends, going to work, that kind of fragrance. So next up, I got 2 backup bottles of a favourite fragrance. It's My Insolence. So a lovely lady that watches my YouTube videos actually bought 4 tester bottles of My Insolence based on my reviews, and it didn't work out for her. So there's a lesson to be learned. Always try and test first, although when it comes to discontinued fragrances like My Insolence, that's almost an impossibility. But yeah. Anyway, she reached out and said, do you want to buy them? I said, I'll buy 2. So she sold them to me for a very nice price. So I have 2 50ml backup bottles. They are testers and they came without lids. I took the lid off an empty bottle that I've got. So that's why that one's got a lid. They are different batches. One's 2012, one's 2014, and I'm going to be in my own geeky time. I will be testing all my different batches to see if I notice any differences, but there's certainly nothing obvious. So 2 new bottles of My Insolence. This one you would have already seen on my channel if you watch my videos. I've already done a bit of a video. I think I kind of reviewed it. Yeah, I reviewed it. I sort of did a most worn fragrance, and that is La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier. This is a 50ml bottle, and in under 2 months I have rinsed it. That is how much I've used, so that's how much I love it. I've absolutely gone mental wearing this one. It's another pear. This is a rich and sweet pear, completely different to the pear notes in the other fragrances we've already talked about. This is a very voluptuous, thick, dense, sweet pear combined with a rich, woody vanilla. I'm sure there's some ambroxan. It's got an addictive quality. It's fairly simplistic, but I wouldn't say it's as simple as the notes suggest. The notes are pear, bergamot, and vanilla. I did check with Jean Paul Gaultier because the notes on Fragrantica say vetiver, and I asked them, and they said the official notes are, they wouldn't go into details. I asked them to confirm, because I think there's a bit of orange blossom in here. I think there's ambroxan. I think there's something spicy. They wouldn't confirm any of that. They just said the official notes are pear, vanilla, bergamot. If you look at their website, if you look at all the official retailers' websites, they are the only notes listed. But Fragrantica do list vetiver, and they also did an article when the fragrance was released that does mention vetiver. So they must have got that from Jean Paul Gaultier, but for some reason, Jean Paul Gaultier are not confirming that vetiver is a listed note. Anywho, I love it. It's absolutely addictive. That's why I've used that much. And I will certainly, as soon as I get nearer to the bottom, I will be getting another bottle, and I'm going to get the big one. Actually, does anyone know, is there, I've seen gift sets with the travel size included. That's what I actually got. Is there any body lotions or shower gels? Because I would love to get a body lotion for that one, because I would definitely layer up. Yeah, performance on that, by the way. Longevity's great. It will even last for a shower. Projection's not amazing. It's not bad. It's not as good as I thought it would be. So when you first spray it, it's massively heavy, sugary, strong, overly sweet, but it calms down quite quickly. And projection's great for an hour or so. Then it's not a skin scent, but it's definitely a lot closer to the skin than I imagined it would be. So for me, if I'm going out for a night out, that actually doesn't quite give me the projection that I want for a night out fragrance, but I would probably wear it on a night out and respray after a couple of hours. That's my thoughts on that. Next one is a blind buy success. This is the Prada robot. We will exterminate. We will exterminate. So if you haven't seen Frag Hag, Linda, the Frag Hag's video, she did a review on this, and she did kind of turn it into a robot. Her review is absolutely amazing. Do go and watch it. This is Prada Candied Gloss, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Where can I spray it? This one starts out very fruity. It reminds me of a fruity cocktail. Also reminds me of Lost Cherry, and in particular in Tom Ford's Lost Cherry is a cherry liqueur note, and that's what I feel like I get from this, a cherry liqueur. It has a sweet and sour aspect to it, and it actually smells of alcohol. Not perfumer's alcohol, but an actual liqueur, an alcoholic drink. Fairly quickly, it calms down. So it's quite fresh, that opening. It's fruits. I couldn't pinpoint all the fruits. I know Linda says she gets a grapefruit note, and I can totally see that. I feel like I'm seeing pink and orangey coloured fruits, a medley of them, almost like watermelon, grapefruit. It's a combination of fruits, and it's slightly nectary, like slightly honeyed, but very much a cocktail, and that liqueur and the cherry. And then when it dries down, it's very much to me it smells a bit raspberry like, but it's cherry, raspberry and musk and vanilla. It's absolutely beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of Guerlain French Kiss, which is a very expensive fragrance, but this is lighter, less sweet, less syrupy, and the performance is not as good, but this is a lot cheaper. If you like that fragrance, you're probably going to like Prada Candy Gloss. I'm really happy with that. I got it from eBay. It was barely used, only sprayed a couple of times, 80 mils, and I paid about the £30 mark. So I'm really happy with that. It's a perfect summer gourmand. I've worn this a lot since I've had it. Daytime, just going for my walk, popping out to the chemist to get various things to fix my face with, just general, meeting up with friends. This has been perfect. I love it. So another fragrance that I bought because of the pear note, and it's Daisy Oh So Fresh Sunshine. So this has a pear note in the top, and I had this one on today. Let's give it a little spray. I had this one on earlier today. To me, this is a very creamy, like a lotion type scent. Almost smells a bit like sunscreen, but no coconut. It just smells like a citrusy sunscreen. It does have this sunshine feel, almost. It's hard to imagine how they do it. It's called Daisy Oh So Fresh Sunshine. How do they make it smell sunshiny without, I don't know what they do. I really don't know what they do, but it does bring that to mind. Also makes me think of Jill Sanders' Sun. Similar feel, and I always used to describe that. It's like clean, freshly washed sheets blowing in the gentle breeze in a flowery meadow. And this is kind of like the same feel to me. It's floral but clean, musky. Yeah, this one's creamy and lotion-like at the same time. I can't remember the notes, but you can smell the pear in here. The pear is watery and not too sweet. It's kind of watery green, not too sweet pear in there. So that was Oh So Fresh Sunshine. And while I was looking into the Daisy Oh So Fresh line, I heard about one, or I saw one called Oh So Fresh Twinkle. I absolutely loved this bottle. I assumed by looking at it, it was going to be a violet perfume, so I was very excited. Actually, I don't think, if there is any violet in here, it's not a main note. It's certainly not the star of the show. There might be a hint of violet in here. This one, I actually wore this today as well. So I had the Sunshine one here, and I had this one all up here. And I wore this out to meet my friend a couple of days ago as well. It's a very fresh, fruity, sharp. It's got kind of an acidic sharpness to it. I can't remember the notes here. It's definitely got some citruses. It's a bit woodsy. There's some pretty florals in here. I used to wear the original Oh So Fresh before I got into fragrances proper. Oh So Fresh was a signature for me for a couple of years. I really loved it, and I would wear it day, night time, nights out, didn't matter, and it really made me feel good. And this does have quite a bit of that. This is a flanker that's not straying too far from the original, but it's just got a slightly different edge to it that I can't quite pinpoint right now, but I might review this one in a bit more depth. It's a fun, frivolous daytime spring summer fragrance for me, an easy reach, and I feel the performance is pretty good actually for an eau de toilette. That one is discontinued, but if you keep looking hard enough, you should be able to find one for a reasonable price. Next up, I did do an unboxing. Did I do an unboxing? I think I did an unboxing of this one. This is my unicorn fragrance. I was searching for this for about nearly 3 years. Alien taste of fragrance. This one has a salted caramel note. So it's like Essence Absolute, very similar, but a little bit different with this salted caramel. So it's like Alien still. It has the Alien feel, but the alienness is calmed down. It's reduced, and it's given over to gourmand notes. It's given over to a ton of vanilla and salted caramel. It's very, very rich. It feels too rich to wear at the moment where it's been quite warm. I could wear it of an evening. It feels too special though. I want to wear it when I go out, and I'm not really going out in the evening. So yeah, but it's Alien taste of fragrance. It's very, very difficult to find, and I don't recommend trying to find it. I got lucky. I waited, as I say, nearly 3 years searching. It was a saved search on eBay. So now we have a cheapy. This is called Blanc by Courreges. So it's a designer house called Courreges, Courreges, Courreges. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, probably not. And it's just called Blanc, Blanc, Eau de Parfum. This is a really weird fragrance. It was a blind buy. It was recommended on a fragrance group. I can't even remember why. It's this musky iris, wet pavement, wet cardboard, strange thing that's actually quite addictive and quite long lasting as well. Needs further review. It is bizarre. It does have some floral elements, but almost smells like licorice actually, just spraying it then. It's a really unusual fragrance. I don't know how on earth I'm going to describe it to you apart from what I've already said. I will try and review it because I think it's one worth looking into. If you like unusual fragrances but you don't have the budget for niche, that is one to consider. It's cost me £12, so 30 mils, that is £12, so very cheap, and it seems to be quite a good quality fragrance. It certainly does have some lasting power. Very unusual scent, but it's not off-putting. It's quite addictive actually, but it's certainly not going to be one that you're just going to easy reach grab for because it's a bit strange. It's a little bit weird. I've got two more, and these are both from the same house, and these are the only niche perfumes here. Actually, they're indie perfumes. The company is called Jorum Studio. They are a Scottish independent perfume brand. They use a lot of natural botanics in their compositions, and I initially heard about them from Lola Scents, you'll know her I'm sure, and also after that I saw Travel Sensibilities on Instagram. If you're not following that account, that's a really good account to learn about all the new fragrances when they come out. So Travel Sensibilities did a post on a new release from Jorum Studio, and that got me interested. And then I did some reading and decided that this one called Psychoterratica 1 sounded amazing because I liked all the notes. It has natural iris in it. It's got heliotrope. It's got loads of things that I can't remember. But it wasn't quite what I expected. I think I thought it was going to be sweeter. And it is a layering fragrance, so they recommend that you layer it with some of that other scents. So that might be why it feels kind of like it's not a full-on perfume. Like it doesn't have any obvious opening notes. It's very smooth blend of musks and iris and that heliotrope, which can smell like almost marzipan like, but not quite. But I feel like perhaps it's just not quite sweet enough for my taste, but I still need to test that a little bit more before I come up with a conclusion. Now when I got in touch with the brand, because what I wanted to do was try the fragrance that Lola likes from the brand. It's called Phloem, 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 and Lola really loves that one, and you couldn't get samples on the website, so I got in touch and said, are you able to, I'm going to buy Psychoterratica 1, do you have any samples of Phloem, because I really want to try that. And they were really kind and said, we don't have any samples, but we've got an unboxed 15 milliliter bottle of Phloem, and we're happy to include that at no extra charge with your order. So it was really, really kind of them. Amazing customer service. So they sent me Phloem. I have to be honest with you, I don't like it. It's got I'm not sure if it's cumin, but it's got that dry, it could even be Immortelle or both, I'm not sure, but it's got that dry, slightly curried like smell, slightly green, and I can't get past it. I like the sound of all the other notes, but this dry green curry like scent bombards my perception, bombards my nasal perceptors and sends a message to my brain that says it's just dry green curry and I can't then smell anything else. That's what happens when there's a note in a fragrance I don't like. I'm sure it happens to everyone else as well. It just takes over and it's really difficult for me to assess what else is going on with that fragrance. I try and separate myself from the bits I don't like, but yeah, so far I haven't really got on with Phloem because of that, but I do need to test it a bit more and see if I can still provide a review of some description, because just because it's not for me doesn't mean it wouldn't be for you. It's just that it's not quite my taste. So that was Phloem. Company there was called Jorum Studio. And we are done. There's one that's missing from this list, and that's a celebrity scent that I bought, but I lent it to Dan, Mr. Smelly, because he was looking into affordable fragrances. So I bought Katy Perry's Indie, which is a Santal 33 dupe. I didn't actually know that when I bought it. It's described as a very musky, musk dominant fragrance, but actually when I sprayed it, it smelled like a bit like Sarah Jessica Parker's Stash, but toned right down. And then I realised it was going in a Santal 33 direction. So I think it's vetiver, it's a little bit nutty, and sandalwood, obviously, a little bit like pencil shavings. And I felt like it smelt like how I remember, and I haven't smelt Santal 33 for a good few years now, but it did smell like, it made me think of Santal 33. So that one is quite a good dupe for Santal 33, but I don't have it here to show you because it's at Dan's house. So that's it. Sorry that this has gone on for so long. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.